The situation in the Black Sea has escalated once again, with attacks on key export infrastructure raising fresh concerns about the movement of grain, vegetable oil, and fertilizer. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, global markets have adapted by finding alternative trade routes. But are those routes now being pushed to their limits? Joining me today to discuss what this means for global agricultural markets, where the biggest risks lie, and what traders should be watching in the weeks ahead is Arlan Suderman, Chief Commodities Economist at StoneX. Arlan, welcome back. Can you tell us what's changed over the past few weeks that's made the Black Sea a much bigger focus for AG markets again?
Yeah, everyone's had their eyes on the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Hormuz, but for commodities, particularly the food-based commodities, the real story has been in the Black Sea. We've been watching this for the last 4 to 6 weeks. And back in 2022, when Russia first invaded Ukraine, we saw that prices exploded higher for the grain and oilseeds on fears that commodity shipment out of this commodity-rich area would be halted. And pretty much Russia was able to keep shipping. Russia tried to shut down Ukraine. Ukraine found alternative routes. This time it's a threat to both Russia and Ukraine. That's
Right.
about 62 million metric tons of wheat at stake, about 23 million metric tons of corn that Ukraine exports each year. And so that's what's at stake. Now, basically, the Ukraine ports are shut down now. Two of the three are still operating, but no ships want to go into them. The only ships there are the ones who are already there, loading and trying to get out. No ships want to go in. So we're already seeing some attempts to try to move grain over land. We've seen some offers at the Danube River as well,
hmm
but that's going to be difficult. We just saw Russia attack a gas tanker along the Romanian coast there on the west edge of the Black Sea. That means Russia was sending a message. That tanker was heading to Ukraine, is sending a message that no ship doing business with Ukraine in the Black Sea is safe.
hmm
And so that means that pretty much limits them to going over land. And that's going to be limited on logistics problems. You can only take so much. The harvest in Europe is going strong now for the wheat harvest, and the row crop harvest will be soon coming. And they won't have room for that Ukrainian grain. It's going to make it tough to do. And Russia is far more limited in what it can do if and when Ukraine starts striking grain ships going to Black Sea ports. So this is a real risk here that we must contend with.
Like you just mentioned, wheat has understandably been the focus. But at what point do disruptions to Black Sea exports become much a bigger issue for global grain markets?
Well, this region is a big supplier of grain to African countries, Egypt, Turkey, of course, which is the next door neighbor, but North Africa is a big depender on Middle East, parts of Asia. So that demand is going to be looking for alternative sources. United States is probably at the bottom of that list.
hmm
First, it'll turn to the EU, Canada, Australia, Argentina. And when those supplies run out, they'll come to the United States for wheat. United States would be more in the running to replace corn demand that is missing, particularly with the heat and drought in Europe.
Yeah.
That's cutting that region's corn crop.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you if these disruptions continue, what knock on effects could we see across corn, like you just mentioned, vegetable oil, and the wider AG complex?
Yeah, Ukraine is the number 4 exporter of corn in the world. 23 million metric tons of corn exports is what was expected for this coming marketing year. European livestock producers are heavy reliers on those Ukrainian feed grains, particularly with the drought we see in Europe this year.
hmm
The feed demand will try to shift to wheat, but of course, some of that wheat coming out of Ukraine will be available to them to do so. Ukraine will also be shifting corn there, so European livestock producers can lean on that. But also, edible oils are in high demand right now
hmm
with the tightness in fossil fuels. Biofuels are at a premium in demand right now. Many of them being made, particularly the biomass diesels, being made out of the edible oils. And Ukraine is a major supplier of sunflower oil, as is Russia. So reducing those exports also reduces the availability of the edible oils for biofuel production,
Hmm.
let alone food consumption.
Right. So then, when you step back from the headlines, is the bigger risk today the availability of grain or the ability to move it? Like, how much of the story is really about logistics as opposed to supply?
Yeah, excellent question. It's all about logistics. And we're seeing now, whether it be this war or the one around the Strait of Hormuz, that opposing forces are fighting the war by attacking logistics,
Hmm.
logistics to move energy and fertilizer for producing food in the Strait of Hormuz, and logistics for being able to move fertilizer to some extent, but mostly the food-based commodities into Black Sea. So that's a major threat. And ironically, this time around, we're hearing silence from the United Nations and other countries to try to find a solution to the problem, and it just keeps escalating.
Understood. Arlen, thank you again for joining us and for all that insight. And thank you to our viewers for watching. For more financial content, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.